Hello, my name is Geogen and welcome back to Armored Warfare. Today we're going to have a look at the B1 Centauro. It's a tier 6 tank destroyer and it sits in the Wolfie tech tree on the wheeled tank destroyer line. And when you get this vehicle, when you've fully unlocked everything, you then progress onto the LAV 600 as well as the Centauro 120, which is the same vehicle as this with a 120mm instead of the 105 that you get on this vehicle. We also find ourselves in challenging matchmaking, tier 7s and even a tier 9 in the form of a T90. Tier 9, tier 8 in the form of a T90 on the enemy team. Bit of a weird matchmaker, but all well. It often happens. So, Centauro. It has a 105mm gun, 6.19 second reload with my commander and all of the equipment. I have equipment in all the 4 slots. And getting that reload down so you can keep punching the damage out is pretty important when you're playing tank destroyers. The gun depression is not too shabby, and therefore you can make use of certain hills, as I am here. Going for the cupola of the Challenger 1, trying to penetrate his roof armor, but we only get 149. Missile coming in, probably from one of those Bradleys, there's 4 of them in this game. Perhaps from that B1 however. Challenger popping out, nope, can't really get a shot. Maybe on this Leopard. Didn't pen his side armor, that's unfortunate. This side turret armor is stronger than I anticipated. Bit of a laggy shot there, 455. But having a good rate of fire therefore ensures we can keep taking the shots. That one missed though because there was a plume of smoke behind where the Bradley, or I thought he would be. And I wasn't spotted there, but that guy was. And he was hiding behind me. Because, you know, instead of making use of rocks and other scenery, he took me as cover, and therefore I got hit for 432. Perhaps I should have predicted this, and I was a bit tunnel vision-y. There is the T90. His rear armor is pretty bad. His frontal hull armor is amazing. So if we can get one more shot. His side armor is okay, but not at that angle, and he's tracked and surrounded. And we keep pumping the shells in. That's another one. 3 shells in so far, and we can't get the 4th to finish him off. But that's his tier 8. That's the enemy team's tier 8 taken care of, and therefore it's now a tier 7 match. We've lost one of our artillery, probably to counter battery fire. Yep, the Akatsiya has got that kill to his name. Up to 2,300 damage done. Can we get a shot on the Bradley? Just about. I thought that was going to miss, to be honest. But this tank destroyer is relatively accurate as long as you let the gun fully aim, and as long as the gun isn't damaged. Well, a damaged gun means it takes longer to aim. Armor is not brilliant, but this does not have exceptionally good armor. It has a very nice slope on the front of it, but it is only 58mm thick. You'll also notice that I don't have the ERA on the sides of the vehicle. At least I don't think I do. No, it does look different with the ERA on. This was before I managed to get the ERA. So the ERA does give you some more side and rear arm, but the front is not covered in it at all. So it's still only 58mm, but with the angling you can bounce a couple of shots, but don't rely on it. Challenger 1 side turret, we can go through them quite easily. Can we get another shot? Yes, we can. Challenger 1's aim for the back behind the ERA and oblique packages on the sides of the vehicle. Otherwise you're not going to penetrate 100% of the time. Centauro 120, he is visible but not to me. Stingray, I'm not. Yep, I've been spotted. Very momentarily though. I don't want to be spotted for too long. I am on 686 health, which is a 1-shot kill for probably that BMD4 with his missiles. And I'll probably be a 1 to 2 shot kill with heat. Or AP, it doesn't even matter. I'd recommend using heat on this vehicle if you see them without the ERA, and you can get us a good side shot. There's that Palmyra. Didn't fully aim it, but shell flew true and penetrated. Notice how the recoil went up quite drastically as well. That is something you will have to get used to in Armored Warfare. Your guns do recoil on these types of vehicles. Or maybe it's because I was facing upwards on a hill. 620 damage there into the Centaur 120 with a heat shell. So this 105 is more than capable. And I'll have on screen the penetration values. And I'll probably have them earlier, to be honest. As I've forgotten off the top of my head. And as this is not a replay file, they don't have replay files yet in Armored Warfare, I can't mouse over the different ammo choices at the bottom. But you do get quite a suitable amount of ammunition. And there's only 3 enemies left. So, to be honest, that was pretty bad driving. And the second thing is, when I get myself in tier 6s into tier 7 and 8 games, it's kind of a bit depressing. And it's kind of similar to that in World of Tanks, really. But in this matchup, this tank destroyer has proved to be more than capable. It's also quite fast. I haven't talked about the mobility. Having 8 wheels, 4 on each side, means there's a nice kill there. Using a heat round as well. Anyway, 4 wheels on each side means you can move quite quickly, accelerate quite quickly rather, and you have a decent top speed. Loading a high explosive because I don't think I'm going to pen that T-72. His name is Unpenetrable, which is hilarious, because the T-72A is not really the best tank for absorbing fire. Maybe in a hold down position, but the T-72A is probably the worst tier 6 for me anyway, in terms of an upgrade to the from the T-72 Ural. And my driving is not on point today, is it? But regardless, 4,774 damage, and we may have got a little bit more, but regardless, 4,774 is pretty nice indeed. And that was conducted in 12 shots. Here we are with the post-game stats. 5,000 experience, 225,000 credits, 5,203 damage. That means we did hit a couple of our shells that we blind fired. Came top on the team on damage. Tier 6 in a tier 8 game. Predominantly tier 7 game. But regardless, that was the Centaur tier 6 Italian tank destroyer. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like down below. And as always, I've been Geogen, and I'll see you chaps and chapettes in the next one.